Okay, so I think the recording started. Hello everyone. My name is D, and welcome to my channel. And today I would like to make a video for um, game server setup and using this project. And actually, I am fourth version or modified version of this project that has been created as open source on GitHub. So yeah, I just want to make this video today that kind of demonstrate how I deployed the game server on my home lab. So just in case if you are interested in learning about this process, um, this is the video for that purpose. So, all right. So before we get into the actual instructions, of the deployment. Just want to briefly talk about this project a little bit. So what you are seeing is the home page of this project. It's called Azeroth Core. So this is the project a bunch of people created as a game server for the MMORPG game World of Warcraft, and this project is created specifically for the version of that game, um, World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King. So this is the version of the game that this project was created for. So I'm gonna just kind of show. I the instructions just later on. So this is a project. By default, this project is it doesn't have the predefined player bots. In order to get a bots work on this game server, you actually need to find a module here on top of this. So module here that you need to have for this project as well. So if you go to a page, I can't remember where to get that page. So there's yes, right here. So you see the catalogs here. You click on catalogs, and these are all the modules. So for these are all the modules available for this project, Zero the Core. And I didn't spend too much time on this project actually, but I do know that the project was written in this way, so I can just talk about that in very briefly. So, in order to add some extra features, um, the team kind of structures the code base um, for the core part of the project, and they add the modules as a kind of like extra layers on top of this core code base here. So the team that manages this project doesn't recommend people to modify the core parts of the project, but if some other developers or teams that want to create extra features on top of the game server code base, they can do so by creating modules um, like a package or something like that, so that when the game server is executed, those modules will be imported and executed at that moment. So this project was written in C++. I haven't touched C++ for so many years. I barely remember anything. So I look at the core code here. It was really interesting. I will probably gonna spend a little bit more time looking into their code base in C++ because C++ is one of the programming language I learned many years ago, and, and people still use it today for some reason, for a good reason, I'll say. So I do want to get my memory back about the programming in C++. So I don't want, yeah, I don't want to forget about that. I think C++ is still a pretty awesome language for many purposes. Although we have some other programming language like Rust, that's just like a newer version of the C++ and C. So these days, and also Golang or Go. So yeah, those type of language. And personally, I'm also a software engineer. Um, just want to spend a little bit more time, kind of learning and playing with those different program languages. So just for my own purpose, for my own studying purpose. So that I'll put that way. So with all that, let me get into the instructions here. So okay, I have created brand new virtual machines on my home lab. So this is the one. Um, and this is the name of the virtual machines I just provisioned last night. So because I knew that I would create this game video for today. So I provisioned a brand new virtual machine last night. So this virtual machine is Debian. I use a Debian 12. I think it's probably the latest image, latest version of the Debian OS, if I'm right. I just want to do a quick check. Yeah, so Debian 12, I think 12.4 is the latest version at this moment. So yeah, so I use that image for the game server, and this is the same ones I use for the game server that have been running for a while already. But for demonstrating purpose, I create a brand new virtual machine using this Debian 12 Linux version for the demonstration purpose for today's video. So let's get into it. Um, so right now I already SSH into my newly provisioned virtual machine, the Debian 12 version, on my terminal or CMD, or whatever you call it, because I'm using the Windows machine here, so that's why. So so this machine was when I provisioned it last night, I picked the graphical user interface. Um, for some reason, you will know why I did that later on in this video. So yeah, I made this virtual machine as a graphical user interface instead of just a pure terminal interface. You'll see why later on. But anyway, I need to get it into the SSH, and now I'm already in my newly provisioned virtual machines. So, and these are documentations that um, I just created myself. And here's the documentations that someone else on YouTube made his own videos, like demonstrating how to set up this game server. But that video, I'll put a link to that video just for those of you who just want to try to create a game server without the bots involved. So I will put a link to the video for that one. But um, today the video I made is for the game server setup with a player bot, so that you can have the game server, you can you can play on your own in your home, and you have some player bots, something you can a bunch of the player bots you can play with, you can team up with for dungeon gameplay. So all right, let me get into it. So and once again, so this is the game version Wrath of the Lich King. You will need eventually you will need a client program like the game client. You need to download that, and on your you need to download that on your own computer. I'm not gonna provide a link to that, but I believe you can just simply Google it. So Google, make sure you Google something like this. Okay, World of Warcraft, 3.3.5. And you will probably gonna find a game client. Make sure that you download the right version, 3.3.5 for this game server. So with that, let's get into the instruction here. So I write a bunch of the bash command that I will need to run in order to provision this game server here. So the first command is simply that I want to is simply that I want to switch to the root server, I'm sorry, not server, but root user. So by simply just run this command, su here. So put the username for the root user, and I just put the wrong password, but now is the right password. So I switch to the root users now. Okay, because these virtual machines I'm in right now is just brand new. I just got it provisioned last night. So the very first thing when you just have a newly provisioned Linux machine is to update the packages. So I think that's probably the command I want to run. The first type of command I want to run most of the time. Uh, but yeah, so this command I can run it, trying to update some packages. Nothing got updated yet, so that is its package because the image version is the latest. So and also optional if you want to use the vim as the as your preferred text editor instead of using the nanos, then you probably want to run this command. Otherwise, you can skip it. So you want to update it a little bit. So I will do that myself. I like vim. I barely use the nano though. For some reason. Okay, so I update my vim. And here I can actually change the model. So right now I want to open a sudo file and give the user, which is this user I used, because I don't want to run the game server under the root user. I want to just for security purpose, you know. For security reason, I want to run the game server in a different user other than the root. So but I wanna give my specific user all the like the root level privilege. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run this command. This should help me open a file. So this is the file where I can just type a line here. So down here, a line 48. So I wanna just give my own user the root privilege here. Yeah, just like that. So the user I plan to use for running this game server is DES, and I want the DES to have pretty much all the root privilege. So I just paste this line of the code here on this file. I'm gonna WQ out over here. Gonna save and quit. Okay, so next I'm gonna change it. Alright, so I want to look at this file, so located at this path here. So this is the file name sources.list. So this is the file in Linux where um, so this is a file in Linux that tell us that all the packages, like where those packages are from, and basically this file stores the package repo from different Linux repository. So we want to check. So we want to check the very first line here. So make sure this here, line number 1 is commented out by default. If it is not, if it is something like this, you when you open the file and you saw the first line is actually like this, you probably want to just add a pound sign here to comment out because we don't want it. Okay. Um, yeah, so and next I want to turn off the automatic updates. Reason for that is that sometime when we have the system OS level package update, it may break some of the server code or script or services, so which could give us some trouble um, on our game server. So I just wanna stop that. So I'm gonna run this command. So systemctl um, stop this ATP daily timer, and I want to disable it now. Okay, so it shows that it's disabled, and then I want to reboot it because I want this change to be applied right away. So we're gonna run this command reboot sudo reboot. Okay, I'm out. I'm out of my virtual machines. I just need to wait for little bit for this Linux machine, virtual machine, uh, back from the reboot. Let's see. And by the way, I will put a link for I'll put some links for everything you need from this video, like the copy of this Linux command as well. Um, so I'll put a link for pretty much everything you need to know in the game description section. So okay, so alrighty, so this machine is rebooted. Come on, machine is rebooted. Get back to my terminal. Get back to my virtual machines. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is to install all the building tools because this server code was running in C++. I want to install some compilers like GCC, G++, Clean, and even CMake and Make, as well as Git, because we'll probably need to do some git clone git clone some projects uh, into our virtual machines so that we need it, and we need to build on those GitHub projects all together in order to have our game server function with the player bots. So that's why. So and also, you notice that I also want to install in this ATP install command. Not only we install the Git, make tools, compilers, we also want to install the MariaDB or MySQLDB. So I think for now I'm gonna just do a MariaDB, uh, Maria database, because the server side services need to talk to MariaDB to store the data, like the user account, and all the characters, some game data. So everything gonna be stored in the MariaDB database. So this is the command I want to run. Copy it and paste it here. I forgot to give a password. I give the wrong password. It's probably gonna take a little while to run. So just let it run. So we're gonna pause here. We will come back when this whole thing is when this whole thing completed. So all right. Okay. So the tools are all the building tools are installed. I think at this moment, so we can just move on. Update the packages. So now I want to update the packages for all the tools that I just installed. So I'm gonna do this. Right after I update the software here. Okay, okay, so that's done. I want to install the building essentials. I think there are pretty much other like utility tools that I still need to use because um, at least that's what I did last time in order to build a game server successfully. So I'm gonna do it right away. I don't know if this is really gonna help or not, but I did it anyway. So this is a command I want to run adp install build essential and give a little dash y to say if, every time you ask me whether I want to install that software from the terminal, I will say yes. So go ahead, keep doing it. So I don't have to like type yes myself all the time. Okay, so that was done. Let's move on to all right the next part. So now we're gonna start clone the game server projects, but we are not gonna do clone that game server project directly from the GitHub page of uh, that managed by this team, but um, because I wanna deploy the game server with a working play bot, I found this project, this kind of actual extended project here. So this, I think this is the name, or at least the username of that developer who modifies a little bit of core code and add a new module for the game boss. So this is his instructions for how to do that. Um, so yeah, let me see if I need. Yeah, so this is his GitHub page here, and this guy just forked that project back onto his own GitHub page. So this, so we need to git clone his project inside of the default Azerothcore project here. So I got a command. Let me see. So run this git clone command. Um, and yeah, and give. I think yeah, this is the branch. I think he's actually said that. Didn't he? Yeah, he said that. So okay, he mentioned that branch should be the player bot. Okay, let's see. It's quite big. All right, it's almost done, I believe. Oof. It's not. Oh man. Okay, cool. Finally. So I have a new folder here. This is the clone the project I just got from this GitHub repo. So I need to go into this folder. Actually, go into the module folder inside this project here. So now I'm inside this module folder here. Um, and I need to run another. I need to git clone another project just for the player bot, as you can see here. So this is another project that this guy created, I think. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one I was talking about. So this is the Git repo just for a player bot module. So let's just do that. Okay. Okay, cool. So now I have the player bots module project here. So let's see. Let's move on. So go back to the previous folder. So by just running this command cd space dot dot. Um, yeah, I can just do that actually. Let's see, create a new directory called the build inside that. Okay, so basically I just want to create a new directory called build. Mkdir build. So there should be a build folder here. And cd back to a home directory. This is not well, when I say home directory, I didn't mean the home directory under our own username, but simply just the home folder. So this is where I'm at right now, just in case if you are curious. All right, so now I want to create a new folder just called Azeroth server. So this is the folder that we're gonna put all the built uh, scripts or bash executable files, everything that has been compiled. So this folder gonna simply just store the compiled project, and we're gonna just run the game server services from this server later on. But for now, we need to create the folder here at this path. And notice that this is my own DES here is my own username. Yours it will most likely gonna be different from mine, so just make sure that you change it to your own username here. So gonna run it. Okay. Let me see what else I want to do. So gonna get back into the build directories under the core folder here. Not this one, but we want to go back to this directory here. So just want you to notice that, because this is the build directory that we created earlier. We're gonna run this C make command given these primary given this I'll say maybe parameters or flags, doesn't matter what you call it, but these are the uh, the parameters or flags you need to give. It basically just mentioned where we can find the claim compiler, where we can find the claim Playerbots compiler to compile those like C Playerbots code, um, and also to find those items in the previous level of the directory, and I want everything to I want to all the for this parameter here dash dc make install prefix. Basically, we just say that we want all the compiled code or script, anything after being compiled to be stored under this folder, under our home directory here, under this folder that we just created earlier. So gonna copy this whole command, and back here gonna paste it, gonna run it. Hope nothing's break at this moment. So yep, so cool. We're gonna run this command, and now this is the moment when we actually gonna start compiling the whole project, the entire project. So this is probably the step that gonna take most of the time. Well, I guess at least it takes some a little bit of time. I would say maybe somewhere around maybe 10 to I would say 15 minutes, depending on how many CPU. Yeah, I would say so. This command here, the make command, um, basically just say that we want to compile the whole project using all available CPU cores that my Linux machine has at this moment. So this is the command this is what that command does. So if I before I run the make, if I could run this command, let's say echo, I want to see the how many cores I have here. Echo, given this parameter here, so it returns the value 4, which means that on my Debian machine, there are 4 CPU core available, which is true actually. If we go back to VMware and we look at the settings here, see the CPUs right here. I don't know if we can see it, but let me zoom in a little bit. So the CPUs are 4, so that's the amount of CPU I assigned to this virtual machine before I provisioned it last night. So yeah, that's right. I want to use all the available CPU cores here so that it might help save a little bit of time when running the make command. So let's just do that. I'm probably gonna pause it because these are the steps that takes about like maybe somewhere between 10 and 15 minutes. So I'm gonna pause it. Um, I will come back when this whole building process is complete. So stay tuned. Okay, so finally the building process complete. Took I think a little bit more than 10 minutes on my machine here, but yeah. So as you can see, we completely and successfully built the server-side project without throwing out any errors here, which is good sign. So let's move into the next step here. Let me see where I am, where I was at. Okay, so now we need to get the game data from a different Git repo here. So this is the Git repo I was talking about. We need to get the data for the client program, because those like some data for the game, basically like the class of the characters, levels, and then even quests, uh, dungeons, and then all the information that the game needs. So yeah, so this is the game data that for that purpose. Let's gonna create a new directories under the server folder here. So the A0 the server. So we already have this folder, I believe, but we need to create a new data folder. Just simply just call it data. So gonna run command. Hang on. It's gonna run this command. Okay, so data server is created. Let's get into that data server. And now we want to download the data pack. So this whole data were compressed into a zip file. So we need to download that data zip file first using the wget command. So I have wget installed already. If you don't have a wget, you probably need to install it first, or you can use a curl as well. So it doesn't matter which tool you use. All you need for now is to download that data pack here. So this is the command I'm gonna run for my case. Okay, give it a minute, I think. Well, it's kind of big. It's like more than 1 GB already. Okay. All right, so we got a data pack. Now we want to unzip the data pack here using 7x. Whoa, I don't have it. That's all I have. Oh, 7z. 7z. I'm sorry. So that's the 7z is a the tools that we can use to or unzip or extract the data from a zip file. So I'm gonna use that. Um, so this is the command I want to run. It's gonna extract all the information from that data.zip file, which could take a little bit of time. Let's see. I'm gonna pause here, and we'll come back later when the extracting process completes. Okay, so we done from that zip file, so we don't need it anymore. Let me just delete that file. Okay, so I think the file is deleted for now. To the let's move to the next step here. So I want to create another new folder here. It's called a backup under this path here. So all right, this backup folder will just gonna store the configuration file for my game server, just in case if I modify some um, configuration which broke something or brought some features that I don't like anymore, so I can at least have a file that copy paste back into override all the changes that I made make. So this is the folder I created. Now let's go to the building folder. It's under the core directory though. It's not under the server directory. It's under the core directory. So this is the core project directory I was talking about. And let's go into the build server inside the core. And let's go to the build folder inside of the core folder here. So simply I just want to copy. So right now I just want to make some copy for the configuration file the game server is gonna need. So gonna run this, and as you can see, I simply just want to make a copy of the altserver.conf.this file and worldserver.conf.this file into the backup directory that I just created. So gonna run that command. I believe we should have. Anyway, I think I should have the. Eek, just want. Come on. Yeah. Okay. So just want to double check if I do have a copy. I think I did. Uh, Hang on. Uh, yeah, I got a copy of those two files, so mission accomplished. And right now, I just want to rename the server .conf.this and the world server. And all I want to rename these two config file. First of all, I want to rename this file. Um, let's see. I want to rename this authserver.conf.this file to authserver.conf file because this is the file the backend server code gonna look for to pull some data from. So this is one of the configuration file I need to rename so that the backend code can find this file, and the other configuration file I want to rename is the worldservers.conf file. So run these two. I didn't really just move these two files to different locations, but simply I just used the mv or remove command to rename these two files there. So that's what I did. Um, and now we go to the etc directory under the server folder here. All right. Okay. And open this world server.com file. You can use the nano, the text editor nano, or you can use the vim. I would just use the vim. So it's gonna vim vi.worldserver.com. So this is the folder that we need to open. There's tons of the word server configurations that you can change, but for now, and here you can see that the default port number is for the default port number for the world server or this game server is 8085. So that's the default port number. You can definitely change that, but you need to change this number. Also, you need to change the same port number in the database that I can show you that just later. But if you don't want to use the default port number, but for now, I would just leave it unchanged. Um, so on this file, we need to add something. So let me just search it. Data, yeah, data there. So data with a capital D. I think that's the entry on this file. Where's it? Oh, oh, okay, here. And line 181. So it's a data there, data with a capital D and dir with a capital D as well. So this is the entry we need to find, and what I want to do is to give the following path here for this entry, because this is the entries that the backend code need to find in order to get the data about this game. So we need to, for this entry, we need to give this pass. In my case, I will need to give the path, the pass to the game data that I downloaded. Remember that I just ran the 7z to to extract all the data files from the data.zip file. So that's the data I was talking about here. Okay, Save and quit. Next, if you want to modify some settings on the authentication services, then this is the file you need to open. But I don't think I need to modify anything on this file, so I'm gonna skip this one. So, but if you need, uh, you can definitely open this file. So this file, I don't see anything I want to change at this moment, unless maybe the default port, but I tried to change it on my previous um, Linux machine, but it was broken for some reason. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna touch this anything or modify anything on this file. So I'm not gonna do anything here. If you need, you can just play with the file. Just make sure that you have the backup file in case if you break something here. So moving to the next step here, I want to check if the MariaDB services is up and running at this moment, because what we are about to do is to apply some SQL file to bring the database structure into the place. So now I just run this command systemctl status MariaDB.services, and it shows that the MariaDB services is running, so which is good. So gonna run. Let me see what else I wanna. Okay, so and you can just so gonna run this command again. So here's my notes. If you wanna get back to the terminal, you can press the Q key on your keyboard. So that's how you get back to your terminal here. And I want to run this command here. So MySQL secure. So this is the command I want to run to apply the database structure. So MySQL underscore secure underscore instruction here. So let me just run that. And I have a note for all the questions. Like for the very first one, leave it blank and hit enter. Enter the current password for root. I don't want to add a password for root. And switch to unique socket authentication. I give no. So type N here. I already have a boot account. So change the root password. Change the root password. I hit Y for yes. And notice that this is the password for your MariaDB database. It's not the password for logging in your Linux server or Linux host here. Okay, so this is the password for the database to get into the database. So I'm gonna put a new password here. Alright, so remove the anonymous user. I think it should be yes. Disallow root login remotely. This totally depends on yourself, but I will say yes. I don't want the database to be remotely accessed from somewhere else. So remove the test database and access to it. It can be say yes. Reload privilege tables. I will say yes. And now, so yeah, so that's done. Now I can run the MySQL command here down here. Enter MySQL or MariaDB. It's gonna run this command to get into my SQL or MariaDB database. So it doesn't matter which one you refer to it. So and now I got put the password that I just created. Uh, all right, so now I'm in MySQL or MariaDB. Cool. So the first thing, let me see. I don't think I have any database. Let me see. Show database. I don't think I have any database yet. Oh, I do. I think those are the default database that for MySQL or MariaDB. But yeah, okay. Anyway, I'm gonna copy this whole giant SQL statement here. Basically, what these statements do is to apply the database structure into the MariaDB database. Here, so the first line at 126 says that we want to get rid of the user a core, which is the username for to access this database. So this is actually username for the database, not the username for your Linux machine here. So, but I wanna basically just create. I wanna apply all the database structure by just one shot. So I'm gonna copy paste that, and I hit the enter to apply the very last SQL statement here. So I think I'm done. Now I can use this colon get out of the database back to the terminal. And I think at this moment I set up everything already, so I should be able to run the game server now. But I don't want to run it on the terminal on my local machines. That here is the reason why I want my Linux machines to have a graphical user interface. But before that, let me log into my VMware server. Eek. Come on, come on. Okay, so this is my game server. And the reason I want a graphical user interface is that it has a terminal tools that I can create several sessions here, which just made my life a little bit easier. If you are a Linux expert who knows how to run a program in a detached process, then my guess is that you probably don't need a user graphical interface. But I have that just for my own use, make my life a little bit easier. So I'll need to I'll need to have a two terminal session here. So that's why I open two. On one of the terminal session here, I need to run this command here. So sudo I forgot. I probably need to type myself, but okay. Uh, Zero, I think zero server is a folder for the server executable programs here. Maybe say it's bean auth server. Yeah, so give the password to my user DES. Okay, so you see that at the first moment when I kick off this authentication server, we have you notice that when we just kick off these authentication services, we have applied a bunch of the SQL files and or SQL statements from this SQL file. So now the authentication server is up and running. Another another service I need to kick off is the world server, which is the actual game server. Okay, here. All right, bean world server. Yep. So this server gonna take a little bit of time uh, to run. Let's say, for example, what you are seeing is that we have applied a bunch of the SQL statement from these SQL files. So there are a lot of SQL files we need to run for the very first time. Um, so just let it run. Just leave it there until we don't see this applying message here. I think. Hang on. Yep. man, we got a lot. We got a lot to apply. Yeah, I just let it run. Yeah, so holy cow. Okay. Do you want to create it? So when you see this message, just say yes, because now the backend server is trying to create the, or at least to look at the database for the player bot, but you notice that hey, we don't have it, so do you want to create it? I will say yes, and hit enter. So now it's gonna apply the SQL statements about the game bots. So now your game server should have some player bots, random player bot created on your server. Um, so yeah, but the server is not run yet. It's not up and running yet. So just give it a little bit more time. Now you try. What you can see right now is that the backend server is trying to create some random bot characters on the game server. So probably gonna take a little bit of time. Um, yeah. Okay, now if you see the promote from the AC, that just basically means that your world server is up and running as well. Um, Now you see that bots are created automatically, but you can now run some if you need you can now run some commands on your server. So something like this, I would say dot help, which is gonna give us all the commands that we can run on this game server for anything. Let's say, for example, if we want to create a brand new account, here is the command for it. So uh, I think it always start with a dot. So any command should have a dot prefix. So dot command dot account actually. And I don't know what the sub command is gonna be, so I just hit enter. Now you say, hey, these are the sub commands you can run. Okay, so dot account create, and it tells you the syntax is going to be this dot account creates the account username. This is the username and this is the password. Let's say I want to create a new account called a test. I put a super security password here, 789 and yeah, and 987. Uh, oof, yeah. Let me redo it. So dot account create 789 Alright, so now it tells me the account created. Cool. Yeah, so you can use this account and its password to go back to your game client and get into this game server. I'm say I'm not gonna show how you. So there's actually one thing you need to modify on your game client program as well, but I believe we have some other YouTubers that have created videos for that. So um, yeah, but I can just show you really quick just in case if you are curious. Once you have your game client downloaded on your local machine, God, uh, so let's say you have this game client, um, you need to look a file inside this path. So go to the data, go to ENGB, look for a file name like this, realm list.wtf. I know this file is, and I made a backup file for this file, but if you just open this file here, you only have one settings here, set realm list, and you can either give your server IP address, either public or or local. In my case, because I have forwarded my port to the public internet, so I need to just give the domain name for my home server here. This is something you need to change once you got the game client. So yeah, that's I think that's pretty much everything for the videos today. Hope you'll find these videos helpful. And this is basically the whole process for deploying a game server. So that yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, please put those questions under the video, under as a comment under this video. I will put all the links to the GitHub repos and some commands notes later on my under my video in the description section, so you'll find the information you need. Hope these videos help you a lot. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. With that, have a wonderful day. Peace.